Mahaska County Conservation's Great Outdoors. I'm Laura DeCook, the naturalist for the Mahaska County Conservation Board. And last week, I started talking to you about weather and what creates weather. Well, today we're going to take it a step further, and I'm going to talk to you about air pressure and how that causes changes in weather. Well, weather starts with the sun. The sun heats everything on top of the earth up. And as the warm air starts to rise, because warm air always rises, it goes up into the sky and starts to cool off. Then the cool air drops back to the earth, and that motion of the air molecules warming up and cooling down, the whole motion of them rising and dropping creates the wind. And so the wind pushes along weather systems all around the world. It's happening all the time, every day. And so we're going to take a look at air pressure, which is the weight of the atmosphere that's pressing down on the earth. That is the definition of air pressure. And air pressure changes with height. For example, the mountains have a lower air pressure because the elevation is much higher. And air pressure can also, like I had mentioned, change the weather. So a cold front, and we've heard of that in the weather, a cold front happens when cold air is pushed underneath warm air, okay? And then warm fronts happen when warm air slides up over on top of cold air. And air pressure is very strong, and it can be super exciting to see what it can do, especially when you use science experiments. So I'm going to do 2 experiments today. So let me get ready and I'll show you what we're going to do. So with our first weather experiment, what we're going to do is get our supplies that we need. We need a glass of some sort, we need some water, and we also need some sort of cardboard. I'm going to use one of our fishing playing cards, and it'll work just fine, just as long that the card covers completely over the mouth of the glass. And so what I'm going to do is simply fill this glass up with water, oops, spilled, all the way up to the brim, I mean completely full. And then I'm going to set the card on top. This is the tricky part. I'm going to turn it completely over, like so. And I'm going to release my hand from underneath the cup. So I will not be touching the card. Just like that. And so what causes that? That is pressure. There is air between the water and the card, and the pressure holds it together. So that's one trick. So with our second experiment with air pressure, we're going to use just a Diet Pepsi bottle. And I have been soaking the mouth of the bottle in a bowl of really cold water. So what we're going to do with the bottle is we're going to fill it with warm water. So I will go ahead and do that quickly. And the warm water's inside the bottle. And I'm going to place a quarter on top of the mouth of the bottle, and we can watch and see what happens. You see that? So the air pressure, because warm air rises, it meets the cold contact of the mouth of the bottle. The warm air rises and forces air up out, and because the quarter just happens to be light enough, it made the quarter jump. So that's kind of another fun air pressure experiment. So feel free to try these at home, and if you do, let me know how it works. Well, I hope you enjoyed these weather experiments today, and thanks for joining me for Mahaska County Conservation Great Outdoors, and let's get together at the same time next week.